so go live. Sound should be good. And we are live on YouTube and TikTok. So without further ado, guys, let's get started and look at the charts and see where Bitcoin is headed next. Because right now, Bitcoin has lost $20,000. It hit my target. Now we're below 19,000. It just hit my target of 19.3 maybe a few minutes ago. And I said 19.3 for at least 2 weeks. So we hit our targets, and now we're still looking like it wants to go lower. So let's go to the smaller time frames and work our way up to the bigger time frames and kind of see what's going on with the RSI and go from there. So we'll start on the 15-minute chart on the RSI. RSI on the 15-minute chart is pretty low. Can't really go much lower. 1 hour chart is pretty low as well. That's about to get, pushed and pinned down at 0. So the 1 hour chart and 15-minute chart look like they have some juice for Bitcoin to get a decent bounce here then for the rest of the day. At least the 1 hour does. 15-minute chart could only do it for probably an hour. The 4 hour chart, that was in a downtrend, so that's worrisome. But 1 hour and 15 look good to me. 4 hour, not so much. The daily, not so much. And the weekly, not so much. Look, you hit this resistance line perfectly on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, you made a lower high, couldn't even get to the resistance line before you're falling lower. So to me, the daily chart, though, does not look good. So you could get a small rally here at 19K, back to 19.3, 19.5, where you have a point of control at 19.5. But if you don't at least get to 20K before you struggle again, then to me that's bearish, and that means more downside. So I'm not expecting this rally to get us above 20K, but I am, I am thinking that 19.5 to 20, 19,500 will be the first level of resistance. If we get above that, 20K would be next. I'm not expecting that to break 20K, but that would be the level you'd have to break to be bullish again. And right now that is not happening for Bitcoin. So to me, 19.5 would be the next key resistance. If you are to fall lower, my next support would be the last local bottom you had a few weeks ago at 17,500, 17,600. Actually, I guess I have my support of 17,560. That is the next major resistance if you don't get back above 19.5. I should say support. That's the next major support at 17,560. If you don't get back above 19.5, that's the next stop, would be down there for a double bottom. And if you don't hold it, then obviously you would have lower targets. But the rising wedge broke to the downside, and that's where we are right now. So we're trying to hold now 19K. So 20K didn't hold. Now we're trying to hold 19K. We'll see if that happens. Really, there's no support at 19K, so it's either we go back to the resistance or we fall lower. Let's go to Bookmap and see kind of where the orders lie, and we can see where the liquidity is on the smaller time frames. It's going to 0. Well, that's interesting. All right. I'm glad you feel that way. You can leave then. Bitcoin is in a bear market. So obviously everything's going to go down. And guess what? If it goes to 0, people can short it and make money that way. But it's not all going to. A lot of coins go to 0. Bitcoin will not be one of them. Ethereum will not be one of them. Yeah, it's hard to trade, but you can short it, and then you can make money shorting. So there's that. So right now, there's more liquidity at 18.5 than you have up here at 19K. So 18.5 is probably incoming. I didn't want to zoom out that much. You have a little at 18,000, but you have the most at 18.5. 18.5 is probably going to happen later today based on that. So 18.5 would be my next target based on the order book. So 18.5 is probably going to happen later today, guys, unfortunately. If you guys have any requests for coins, let me know, and I will look at them. But this is not my normal day I go live, so hopefully some people will join, but if not, that's okay. I did want to look at Luna Classic. It was up pretty good today. Now it's down 13% on today. I did make a new high, though. If you go to the daily chart, you did have a higher high. Up to the previous one was like 41, 42, and then you went up to 44 today. So a slightly higher high on Luna Classic. But what I'm a little worried about, though, is I would not be jumping into Luna Classic right now because the 3-day chart is extended. The daily chart is in a downtrend, and the 4-hour chart is also in a downtrend, so that's trying to reset right now, and the 1 hour chart can't go much lower. But the 4 hour to the 3 day chart don't look great to me on Luna Classic, but it was nice to see a higher high, but overall the macro time frames still look really bearish, and now it's kind of falling off a cliff at 35, but we will see what happens. Your last higher low was 23, so basically 22, 23. So as long as you hold 23, I mean, you could put it in double bottom there on Luna Classic. But right now, to me, it looks like it's going to have another nice correction to the downside. So if there's any requests, let me know. Usually I go live on Mondays and Fridays, so I know the turnout today isn't going to be great, but usually I go live on Mondays and Fridays, but I was sick the last few days, so I decided to push it back to today, and we'll probably have to start going live on weekends or something because I did start a new job, or maybe I'll go live after I get off work or something. We'll see how that's going to go. But I just want to jump on here live really quick and say that Bitcoin is probably going to 18.5. We just looked at the order book. That's kind of the next target, 18.5. And then if you don't hold that, your next local low would be $17,560, $570. That would be the next stop for Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over. I don't think there's anything else to go over that's really pushing it. Jasmine still looks awful, back to 8 to 9 tenths of a penny. That's been in the range for a long time, so nothing really new there. Yeah, I guess this will be a quick live stream because I just want to talk about Bitcoin falling and where I see it going. But I guess if there's no requests, I will wrap things up. So with that being said, I'm going to end the YouTube live stream.